Hello, everyone, and welcome to the virtual college exploration for all Pennsylvania students, hosted by PACAC. Oop, hold on one second. Um, I'm actually sharing my screen here. And I just wanted to go over a few reminders. First, you will be able to answer some questions using the Q&A feature. Your microphone and your camera have been turned off. There's also no chat feature. A recording of the session will be made and sent out to you within about a week's time. And lastly, I'd like to remind you that you can sign up for more sessions just like these at pacac.org/virtual. And with that, I will pass it on to Will. Go ahead and share.
All right. All righty. Hello, everybody. My name is William Clark. I am an admissions counselor here at Coastal Carolina University. Thank you so much for joining me. This is actually awesome to be here to share any of my information with you and my personal story with everyone here that's in attendance and how my experience was at Coastal Carolina. Just a little bit of information about myself. I actually graduated from Coastal Carolina back in spring 2016. I was a transfer student back in fall 2013. My major was communication with a concentration on journalism, and I also minored in sociology. So you can only imagine what some of my classes were like, but they were very, very fun, very, very interesting. And, I'm glad that I can actually kind of go over this university with you. Just a little brief, setup about this presentation. I'll be glad to answer any questions as you guys pour them in. I'm here to help you out as much as possible because just like someone helped me out, I'm here to help you guys out as well. Now, Coastal Carolina, we are a relatively young institution. We were founded back in 1954, and we are very, very young. And that's one thing I like about this school. And not only are we young, we are very, very affordable. One thing I like about the school is, we are second in the South as far as best value category. And for 11 consecutive years, we are on America's Best College Buys list. Now, if you look at this quote right here from our president, DeCenzo, he's not only talking about you're getting the best academic experience possible, but you're getting it at a reasonable cost. And that means so much. And I really, really like that quote because we take pride in that here at this university. A couple of other accolades about our university. We are number 10 in the best undergraduate of teaching, number 17 in top public schools, number 19 as far as the most innovative schools. And for veterans, that's a really, really big thing right there. And I'll kind of elaborate that on that in a little bit. We are number 25 for best colleges for veterans. Now, the one number that sticks out to me, especially on this list, is number 19 in the most innovative schools. I like this because I remember my middle brother, he actually came to Coastal back in fall 2010. And I remember how small the school was. It was still growing. We are still growing every year, it seems like. But I remember the buildings that are on campus now weren't around. And when you were coming on University Boulevard, which is the main road into campus, there were signs talking about how many all these new buildings that are getting built. And then I came in 2013, it's like the list kept getting smaller and smaller. And now it blows my mind. So we are always rapidly doing changes, and watching our campus grow. And that really, really means a lot to me because with me I only live a few minutes down the road, but it seems like every time before I came and started working here, it's like, oh, that's new. I don't remember seeing that. So that actually helps me stay on my toes about how fast the school is growing. Now, I was talking about our veterans. So if you are in the military or a dependent of a military, our veteran services here on campus is extraordinary. We are for 8 consecutive years a military-friendly school, and that's really, really good because, like I said, we always try to help out veterans as much as possible. So if you know someone who is in the military, or you are military friendly, or you are a military dependent child, please reach out to our veteran services. They will be glad to answer any questions or concerns in that regard. Now we have about 10,000 students here approximately. I think that's a really good happy medium because the community itself is actually really cool. We're located right here next to Conway, and Conway, South Carolina is it's a decent sized town, but that's what you get when you're here on the campus. It has that small town feel. Now, not as small as my town, the town I'm from. I'm from a town called Chesterfield, South Carolina, and there's about 1,500 people. So coming to a school like this and getting that small town feel actually helped me out a little bit and made me feel a lot more comfortable here on campus. Now, something else about our institution, we have 5 academic colleges. Every academic college has its own personality, and I'll elaborate that when I start talking about them. And we have over 90 programs of study. Now, I won't go into all 90 of these programs, but I'll elaborate on a few from each college and academic school. As far as our student faculty ratio, we are 16-1. So to kind of put that in perspective for you, your first couple of years, you're taking your general ed courses, things like that, you'll have about 20 to 35 kids per class. And the further you get up into your major courses, you'll start seeing those numbers go down because obviously the majors will vary and the students will vary. So to kind of elaborate a little bit, my senior year, which was my capstone project, I had about 10 to 11, like 10 or 12 students in my class, which gave me a lot of one-on-one time with my professors. And it also helped out because all of our professors have open door policies. So when I walked around campus and I saw one of my professors, they knew me by my name, not by a number. And that really, really helped me out because when I first transferred here, I was brand new and I was nervous and I didn't know what was going on. But the further I got into my major and my courses, my professors call me, they know me by name. And they still do now when I walk around campus. They call me Mr. Clark now instead of Will. So that's still kind of weird, but I'm getting adjusted to it. And I love my professors just for that reason. Now, 79% of our faculty possess a doctoral or terminal degree, or they are still working towards that. So that's a big number, and that's a really good number because you not only are you getting really, really good help, but you're getting the best of the best. And even when you graduate or just need help with a resume or anything like that, seeing the word doctor attached to something really helps out. And especially you're getting your expertise with someone who's still doing some studies, it really, really helps as far as building resumes and building really good friendships and relationships with these faculty and staff. Now, our first college here on Coastal's campus I would like to talk about is our Wall College of Business Administration. This is, of course, our business school, and we are AACSB accredited, which means we are in the top 5% of all business schools in the world. And that's phenomenal. So good old small town Conway has one of those schools, and I think that's amazing. So some of the majors you may see inside this, of course, are your economics, your marketing, accounting. We are a big golf capital city, a big golf course city. So PGA golf management is a big thing because we, of course, Dustin Johnson, if you guys ever heard of him, he is an alum of Coastal Carolina, and that's awesome. So we do have a golf course here on campus. It's literally right around the corner. Parents, you get a discounted rate. So come down here and they have the best Philly cheesesteaks. I'm not even kidding. So go down there and have fun. And like I said, for students, that means a lot, especially if that's something you want to go into. And also with us being close to Myrtle Beach, we do have hospitality and resort tourism. So that's another major that you can take up as well. Now, one thing I like about this school, internships aren't required for most majors, but when you actually go to school and major in any of these majors inside of the Wall School of Business, some internships are required. So that will definitely help out. And the professors in this building are top tier. And when I say, I was talking about how every school has its own personality. Wall School of Business, when you go inside, depending on the day, depending on the term or the time of the year, you'll see folks dressed up in business attire, business suits, and you feel weird, but then you're like, you know what? This is what they're going for. And on the first floor of the Wall building, there's a computer lab and it has stocks going around the room. And I think that was really, really cool. So definitely one of my favorite buildings to walk into as far as business majors and schools go on this campus. We, of course, we do want to help out with our education majors. So this is Spadoni College of Education. And I want to elaborate on this because when it comes to Horry County and coastal alum, we have 83% of coastal alum who graduated here who are now teachers here at Horry County. So that's awesome. And we do have majors such as special education, elementary education, middle education, and physical education. Now, if you wanted to go into the secondary education, you can come back here to Coastal for your master's degree, and you can go into that. Something else about graduating from Coastal with a degree in teaching is that you also not only get to teach here in South Carolina, but you get to teach in all 50 states, including Puerto Rico and Guam. We are NCATE certified. So that's something to kind of think about. This is my favorite school college on campus. This is the Edwards College of Humanities and Fine Arts. This is, of course, where the communication majors were. This is the school I graduated from. And I love this building because it has its own personality, and I will tell you why as I go through the majors. Of course, we are a liberal arts institution. So we have communication, we have philosophy, you have music, you have graphic design, you have history, you have theater, which you actually have to audition for. But one thing I love about this school, when you walk inside, no telling on what kind of day it is, you may have someone playing a guitar, saxophone, practicing vocals for a play, just singing, because we have recital halls in this building. We have dance halls as well, and it's honestly a world of its own. And we actually have an art gallery inside this building as well. I think that's in the artwork that's displayed is mostly by students here on campus, whether it's the graphic arts or around their senior year when they're doing some projects. My old roommate was an art major, and she was actually, one of the exhibits was actually dedicated to her class she was in. And I mean, it's this fantastic artwork. I wish I was as artistic, but if that's something you would like to take up, this is the college for you. And something else about this building, in the middle, there is a courtyard. In every way you can walk into, of course, every way you look has a way you can exit, of course. But there is a fountain in the middle, and it helps out, and it's all soundproof throughout that courtyard. So that's why a lot of folks go out, and a lot of students go out and sing and practice doing what they have to do in that area. This is our Gupta College of Science. This is actually one of our big colleges here on campus. Of course, with us being by the beach, a lot of folks like to do marine science. That's a big one. We have chemistry. You have sport. You have sports science, recreation and sports management, and sociology and psychology. So that's a few majors here on campus that talk about this, that go into this school. This college, I have actually watched it grow over the last few years. It blows my mind how big this college has grown. I actually know a few people who graduated from this college, and they now work for Ripley's Aquarium or other areas around around the country that are dealing with sea life. Okay, so one thing I do like about this is the opportunities you get as far as studying abroad and also internships. Now, one thing that you may get to take advantage of is going to Wadey's Island. Wadey's Island is about 45 minutes north of Myrtle Beach. And this island, 1/3 of it is donated to Coastal Carolina for research. I actually got to go there my senior year of Coastal. And when I say it is untouched and only for coastal research, it's all you see. When you go up to the go inside the area, it's all marshland. So you may have a teacher assistant with you or something like that, and they or actually go out into the marsh, and they have stickers on plants or trees, and they're running tests on them. And after that, we actually got to go onto the ocean or to the beach, and it's completely untouched. So you found a ton of seashells and you don't feel like you're in Horry County anymore. That's the one thing I liked about it. So if that's something, you may do that in maybe Science 101 or Biology 101, or the farther you get as far as, your major in the College of Science. Now, let's say you don't actually have an idea what you want to do as far as coming to college. That is completely fine. We all don't know. I know some folks who have changed their majors 1,000 times, and that's just because you want to pick and choose and find what fits you. Well, this is for the HTC Honors College and Center of its Interdisciplinary Studies, along with being undecided. Now, one thing I can elaborate about the HTC Honors College, I encourage students, especially if you want to graduate with honors, this is something you should definitely take advantage of. It's all on our coastal website. You may have to do an essay, but you get special housing, which I think is really, really cool. Every floor is dedicated to specific majors, and you also get priority scheduling. So if that's something you want to take advantage of, I encourage you to go and look into the HTC Honors College, because like I said, not only do you get to graduate with honors, but you get to hold that over your head for a very long time. And I think that's incredible. Now, when it comes to interdisciplinary studies, like I said, this is something that we may not have a specific major for, but it also gives you an opportunity to kind of build on that major, if that makes sense. So, well, let's say you want to go into photography, and you also want to work in marine life. You can talk with faculty and staff and actually work around with other faculty advisors and put that major together, because we actually had someone do that, and it was in their photography artwork is incredible. So that's just something for you to kind of think about, especially if you don't know what you want to do. This kind of helps you put your brain into finding interest, of what interests you and what you're kind of looking for. So I think it's a really, really good way of helping you out. Getting involved. This is something I try to stress to a lot of folks, and this is a big one to me. We have over 160 student organizations here on campus, whether it's Greek life, club sports. I'm not athletic, so this is something I should have taken advantage of. We have faith-based organizations, SGA, marching band, Coastal Cab. They actually hold events. That's Coastal Activities Board. A newspaper here on campus, and something I was a part of, WCCU Radio. WCCU Radio was honestly one of the best times I've ever had in my life. And when I say that is when I found out Coastal had a radio station, I immediately, during organizational kickoff, I went straight to that table and I signed up, because that's exactly what I wanted to do. You actually get to have your own show at specific hours, whichever you would like to do. You get to have, you can have special guests, things like that. Play your own music, of course, keep it clean. And you get to, express yourself, whether it's through sports radio, and it's all live. And one thing that helped me out is this actually allowed me to work on talking on radio, because my junior year, I actually did an internship, and that internship landed me a job here in Myrtle Beach on radio. And up until this year, I was working for Mix 97.7 here in Myrtle Beach. And so it had to start somewhere, and it started here at WCCU. So I think that was, it was a blessing in disguise, and I couldn't be any happier than that. Now, let's say you don't see an organization that you would like, or that we do have. You and some friends can actually get together and create your own organization. It's pretty awesome. And one organization that I would like to elaborate on that's really, really cool, Quidditch. We have a Quidditch team here on campus. So if you are a Harry Potter fanatic, that's something you may be able to take up on. And I think that's really, really awesome. And one of my coworkers is actually the one who started that organization. She takes a lot of pride in that, which she should. Sports. We are Division I. And if you can't see by the background, of course, that is our teal turf. And one thing we do take pride in, we were the 2016 NCAA champions in baseball. We will hold that near and dear to our hearts for as long as possible. That was a fun time. It was a great year. And I couldn't be any prouder to be a CCU alum, to see the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers go to victory out in Omaha. That was a fantastic time. Now, of course, we have football as well. We have basketball. We have softball. and we have track and field as well. But one thing, students, this is something you should know now that, oh, come on, sorry, this happens a lot. Okay, sorry. When it comes to sports, all students are able to attend these events for free. So whether it's on a nice spring day, during right after classes when softball's going on, or baseball, or during the fall when football's going on, the tickets go straight to your phone, and all you have to do is go get them scanned. It's a really, really good opportunity, and to see the Teal Turf in person, it's honestly one of the coolest things ever. So that's just something to kind of to look into. We pride ourselves on hashtag Teal Nation because we get over 15,000 applications a year. And if you look right here, of course, every state is shaded in some sort of teal. But if you look up and down the I-95 corridor from from Florida all the way up to Maine, you see that it gets a little darker. Now, when it comes to students here on campus, we are 51% South Carolina residents, 47% out-of-state residents, and 2% international. So when you are in a classroom, you may have someone from South Carolina beside you, or a few South Carolinians, or you may have some folks beside you from New York, New Jersey, or even Pennsylvania. You'd be surprised. So when it comes time to, travel and go home, you may make friends with someone who may live close to you, and you guys can carpool. So this is a really, really cool. That's why I like this school. Is very, very diverse when it comes to kids or students from different states. Now to talking about the application side of things, we do, this is just a middle 50% range as far as GPA goes, okay? 3.2 to a 4.0 GPA, 19 to a 24 in the ACT, and a 1020 to 1150. So that's just some of the numbers that we want you to look at as far as, when you start applying for Coastal. The core requirements, I know every state is different. These are just the basic core requirements that we may need. But I know, like I said, some schools that I've actually noticed about for Pennsylvania don't necessarily need a fine arts, but just but when it comes to applying, get with me or your guidance counselor, and we can figure out something to make it work for you. Not saying you're not going to get in based off if you don't have a certain class, but I know every state's different when it comes to core requirements. So 2 ways to apply. Of course, you have our institution application, which is, of course, CCU application at coastal.edu/apply. And we are now using Common App. This is a big deal. I've heard a lot of parents are actually very, very expressive about this. So yes, we are now on Common App. You can apply, do that, and send us all your information through that as well. Now, we don't have an application deadline because we are rolling admissions, but we do have a priority date for Freshman Merit Awards, which is December 1st. That's something that you should remember. So if there's anything that you remember from this presentation, remember December 1, okay? And 3 weeks until you receive your decision, as basically once we receive everything, all the required information, that's just something that that we want you to know. 3 weeks until you receive your decision. We are going test optional this year and next year as far as fall 2021. So students, you can apply as test optional. Now, when it comes to the test optional, students with a 3.5 or higher, a high school GPA, and a rigorous college preparatory. So we'll look at AP courses, college prep courses, dual enrollments. You can apply without submitting test scores, okay? Now, when it comes to applying for test optional, we strongly encourage you to submit letters of recommendation, personal statements, and/or essays. I think that's really, really good because we want to see not only do you excel in the classroom, but excel outside of the classroom. Transfer students, a 2.9 average GPA is good, is what we're looking for. And 24 transferable collegiate credits, okay? That's something that we do look for. Now, if you don't have 24 collegiate credits, we may need to ask you, or we may ask you for additional information like test scores, transcripts, things like that. Same thing as far as priority dates. June 1 is for transfer students and for the transfer merit awards. In 3 weeks, of course, after we receive all the information that we need. Let's talk a little bit about money, all right? Because I know that's what mom and dad are stressing about. So when it comes to out of state or for in-state and out of state, these are the numbers right here that you're looking at. That, of course, this is based off the highest meal plan and the highest housing plan, okay? And something else to elaborate on, these are frozen for this fall and or this school year and next school year, okay? So you won't, so nothing's really going to change. But like I said, this is the highest amount that you possibly would pay, and it doesn't include miscellaneous, fees, computer fees, stuff like that. So just kind of take that into consideration when you apply. 86% of CCU students receive financial aid and scholarships. The FAFSA always opens up October 1st, and it just opened up like a week ago. So take advantage of it because there are scholarships out there for everyone. You will be surprised. One of my coworkers, she got a scholarship for being left-handed. It's honestly, it's mind-blowing, some of the scholarships that are offered, but you just never know. So always go in and see what is offered. Now, these are the first-time freshman merit awards. Now, the main thing you need to look at is we go from 15 to 60% off tuition. That does not include room and board. Okay, so the good 15 to 60% is what you're looking at. And we go off this for the your class rankings, writing samples, SAT scores, your GPAs, your rigor, and throughout coursework in high school. So these are all things we look into as far as getting those percentage for merit awards and scholarships. Same thing for transfer students. We have 15 to 25 when it comes to the percentage off full tuition. Like I said, that does not include room and board. And we have some of the preferred academic qualifications as far as transferable credit hours along with GPA as well. Of course, once you do get accepted into Coastal Carolina, that would be awesome. I'll be happy, to get that email or a phone call from a parent to know that their student got accepted. But you will need we need you to submit a $100 enrollment deposit, which would, hold your place here on Coastal's campus. Then you will go through the process of applying for housing and registering for orientation. Of course, new student orientation is mandatory. This year was a little different. We did everything virtually, but it's really, but most of the time, of course, with 2020 is different. We have students that you come and stay on campus, and you kind of get a feel for, for meeting new folks and meeting new students, and also, getting a feel of the campus. And there's also different days that, you'll have different things going on throughout the day. Now, this link right here is how you would reach out to me. This is actually, for the faculty and staff, admissions page. So you can always go here. You can follow this page. You can click on that. You can email me. My direct number is on the page, and I will be glad to answer any questions or concerns when it comes to anything, whether it's the application process. If you need me to do one-on-one Zoom meetings with you, I will be glad to do that. I know we are doing a lot of high school visits, virtual visits here, for the next coming weeks or so. So if that's something that you would like for me to do, I'll be glad to help with that as well. So with that being said, let me see if there are any questions or concerns or any, let's see here. Because I was trying to see if there were any questions. Let me make this screen a lot bigger. Let me see here. Okay. Trying to make the screen bigger, that's all. But did anyone have any questions or concerns? I didn't see any questions come in on my end at all. Unless I'm just, let's see, stop share. Oh, okay, I do have a couple questions. Okay, so I do see a question. when it comes to marine science, our intelligence and national security, along with there's one more major, marine science, international intelligence, and national security. Yes, that is definitely a question. We do need SAT scores for that. It's a certain score. I can definitely get that for you. So you just email me if you get a chance. I will be able to help you out with that. What clubs what clubs are available for marine science and fine arts? So I do know, I can tell you there is a fishing there's a club that goes literally fishing throughout, like, I think it's usually on Saturday mornings. One of my old coworkers did that, and they would literally go out all day and fish. I I'm not a huge fan of fishing, but it's definitely available for you to do that. Fine arts. Now, are you talking? Well, there's a whole list. I can definitely find out more information about that for you, if that would help you out as well. I hope that answered your question, Kaylee. That was two questions I got from you, so I appreciate that. Did you guys have any other questions or concerns for me? Feel free to, let's see. Do you allow? Okay, perfect. Here we go. Do you allow students with high school, with college? We do. So if you are in taking college classes now, of course, if you're taking them throughout the spring and everything, don't worry about send us your transcript once that's all said and done. If you're just taking it for this semester, obviously we need the final transcript from that community college or institution you're taking dual enrollment. In some instances, the I've seen some transcripts of already put together as far as having those classes with a high school transcript and some dual enrollment. Because some institutions, you'll get some collegiate credit from a high school credit without actually going to a community college. I would have to look into that number for you specifically. Um, Olivia, I definitely would like to look into that for you. I didn't go over that necessarily. So if that's something that you would like for me to do, feel free to email me, and I can definitely find out that answer for you. Let's see. You're welcome. You're welcome. Let's see here. Just making sure I answer all the questions. Are you sure? Okay, I think that's, yeah, all the questions or concerns. Now, I do, want to just talk a little bit about, I know I kind of went over a little bit of my college experience here at Coastal. Now, I take a lot of pride in this school. I really, really do. And, I can't, like I said, a very, very small town, and coming here made me feel very, very at home. Like I said, the small town feel, my professors, when I wasn't, when, there's personal things going on, or I was just really struggling with school because, I was trying to come in and graduate and get what I had to do done. My professors were always there for me. I have met some my closest friends who are still here. Some of them are coworkers. You just never know who you'll come across here when you work here or when you attend Coastal Carolina. And I seriously want to express that so much. I know you may be further away from your home, and and that's, and especially it could be for your first time. You may have siblings who are attending different schools, but being away at an institution that makes you feel, gives you that humble, like, home feel, I cannot elaborate on it, anymore. It is a great, great feeling, and I am so thankful that I got someone to help me get from point A to point B to come here, and now I can, take pride in being an admissions counselor for this institution. So it means a lot that I can actually express that and tell you the story or tell you my story about this school. So if you say if you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask away. And like I said, if I don't know the answer, I'll promise you I will get back. I will get back to you as soon as I can with anything. It's been chaotic, but we're doing the best we can down here. Thank you, Olivia. Pre-college campus. So I see you talking about pre-college camps. Are you referring to like college tours or things like is that what you're asking about, or is it something about sports or anything? I just want to make sure because I can elaborate on either one for you. Okay. Yes, absolutely. So when it comes to sports, that's they do offer certain thing, certain camps for specific sports. That'll be something that I'm not sure. I'll type this for you. Let me send it for you. Let me see here. If you go to this right here, let me send this to you. You should be able to actually look and see what they offer. I know things have been a little different, obviously, with this year with COVID, but here you go. And get in contact with any sport, any coach, coaches, whether it's coming here to campus and visiting or, just doing a simple phone call, it definitely helps out, especially. And if you're actually looking to get recruited in sports, if that's what you were aiming for, you can actually go to that website right there. And there's a questionnaire you could fill out respectively for your sport. And then they can actually get in contact with you, whether it's highlights, things like that. What does classroom setting look like? How many people per classroom? All right, so classroom settings is not a lecture hall. It's definitely not like a huge lecture hall. You actually, you have desks, but like I said, the classroom sizes will vary. So when you're in your first couple of years, you'll have about 20 to 35 students. And then the further you get into your major, you'll have maybe 10 to 12, depending on the major. So if that helps out a little bit, that's so basically when I was trying to get my spot in my math class, I was always trying to be the first one there because the class would fill up very, very quickly. But now when it came to my communication classes, it wasn't, I obviously had a class on time, but it wasn't a struggle to find my seat, if that makes sense. Also, if I didn't touch base on this, we are offering college tours. So if you would like to, come tour the campus, if you haven't already, we are doing college tours through November, up into the middle part of November. So feel free to actually go to coastal.edu. When you go to that site, there's a little icon. It's like a little pin. It says visit. Click on that, and on the right hand side, it has weekday tours. Just click on that, and and you can pick a time to come and view our campus. And once you view the campus, you can actually get some time, if you would like, to meet with me afterwards, and I'll be glad to meet with you and your family. And I'm not sure how scheduling is right now in Pennsylvania, but that's just a good way to help you out a little bit. If that's something that you would like to do, we are definitely doing that, and I'll be glad to answer any questions after the tour. Or if you're just in the area and you don't want to do and you can't schedule a tour, come to the admissions office. We'll give you a map. You can meet with me, and you can actually go around campus and do your own impromptu tour. Any other questions or concerns for me tonight? So believe me, I'll be glad to answer anything for you. And if nothing comes up, they said, feel free to send me an email. Go to that, go to the coastal admissions page on coastal.edu. Like I said, my number and everything is there for you to reach out to me, as far as questions and concerns go, because I want to help you out as much as possible and take as much stress off you and your parents, especially during a time like this. I definitely want to help out. But if you guys don't have any other questions, I'll give you a couple more minutes. But if you don't have any other questions and concerns, I won't hold you. I won't hold you to it. I definitely let you all go forth and do what you need to do. I really, really appreciate all of you for being here. Like I said, it means a lot, and I appreciate the questions were awesome. You all are doing great. That I can't wait to hopefully see your application come across my screen and be like, oh, I actually spoke to that person, or I answered their question, and I'm hoping that we can get through this together, and hopefully that you all be able to come to our campus if you can, and actually attend our university. It's a beautiful, beautiful institution, and I cannot thank you. I cannot be more thankful. All right. All right, you guys. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end it now. You got Kaylee, if you can message me, email me, I can get you that information as far as the transfer to tuition, because it can vary as well. Okay, so feel free to email me, and I'll be able to elaborate for you. Okay, but you guys have a great night. Be safe, and I'll talk to y'all when I talk to y'all.
And I'd like to thank you all for attending today's session. Just wanted to go over some closing reminders. There'll be a quick survey for you once you close this screen, 4 questions for you to answer about today's session. Again, feel free to sign up for more sessions just like this one at pacac.org/virtual. And again, within a week's time, a recording of today's session will be sent out. And with that, I will end today's meeting. Thank you for attending.